Boom!
We live.
I got
Oh, we are live. We are live. Coming at you from the Progress Realty Partners studio broadcast here at our office in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. My name is Dan Salonis. This is Progress Realty Partners. What say you? Where we get answers to questions sent in to us from investors all throughout the country, revolving around commercial real estate. And today I am joined by my co-principal, Adam Dickert.
What's up, people?
And the lovely Kim Bruno, who is our marketing coordinator. Kim, how the hell are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. Sun's shining. We made it to Wednesday.
That's right.
Let's go.
Weather's finally getting better here in the Northeast, so we're doing good.
Halfway.
We got 4 questions this week, guys. 4, count them. 2 for me, 2 for Adam. And we want to jump right into this thing. So, Kim, why don't you start us off? What is the first question we got in last week? And who's it for?
So, first question is for Adam. And this is coming from Eduardo, awesome name, from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
BK.
718.
That's right. What do you allocate for TI when a new tenant is moving in? And how much does that number change from market to market?
All right. So off the bat, I know Eduardo is obviously a little ingrained in real estate. He understands that it changes from market to market. So that's a great start. But I think even more so it depends on the asset class, right? So we love retail and industrial. So depends on the asset class and the condition. Just general idea. If you have like a strip center, call it, and it is not vanilla boxed. That means, the walls are completely not even up. The wires are all over the place. The lights aren't really hanging in the correct place. You're going to need probably, $25, $30 a foot to get that thing into a vanilla box shape, which means that a tenant can move in and is move-in ready. The bathroom is up to code and it's up and running. The lights are all put in the ceiling the correct way. You don't have fire hazards and wires hanging everywhere. The walls are all sheetrocked and ready to go, ready for paint. If you're already in that condition, now it comes down to a point of negotiation. I mean, for a retail tenant, we usually allocate anywhere from $10 to $25 a foot, depending on the market and depending on the condition, which I think is a much bigger factor than the actual market that you're in. You can be in New York City and give someone $100 a foot. You can be in South Carolina and give someone $20 a foot. That $20 a foot might go a hell of a lot farther in that space. It's a lot more up and ready than that $100 a foot in Manhattan. So hopefully that helped.
Good answer.
Yeah, very good. Vanilla box.
Vanilla box.
All right. Dan, you ready for your question?
Yeah. Who's that? Vanilla who? Who's the Ice Baby?
Vanilla Ice, not Vanilla Box.
Vanilla Ice. Right. What do you got?
All right. Barbara from Florida wrote, my husband and I have owned and managed apartments for years. We're getting older, and we're thinking of selling what we have in exchange for one of these single tenant properties we see for sale. Do you have any advice as we look?
Any advice? Yeah, don't buy a 3 cap.
What say you?
Yeah. Don't buy any 3 caps. How many deals we see coming out? Chick-fil-A's 3.5, Wawa, 4 cap. So there's a couple things, right? I mean, obviously you're getting into the net lease space because you want to kind of cut down on your management responsibilities. And there's somewhat, Barry Wolf is a Marcus and Millichap broker, absolute net lease retail expert. And he really put it best that there's really 4 legs that you have to look out for when it comes to these net lease deals. One being the credit of the tenant, right? How financially sound is the tenant that's occupying the space? Do they have credit? Do they have good financials? What are the chances that they're going to withstand the length of the lease and make those rental payments every month, for their entire lease, right? Another one is just the fundamentals of the real estate. What location is it in? You see Dollar General deals as an example that are in, the sticks out in the middle of nowhere, which is a tough type of area to be in because if they were to leave, chances of backfilling it, getting a tenant to pay equal rent or finding a tenant at all could be difficult. But another thing too, the lease terms. Is it an absolute net lease? Is it a double net, triple net? What responsibilities are on you as the landlord? Are you on roof and structure? Are you on parking lot? or is the tenant responsible for everything and they pay everything directly with no reconciliations? And I would say too, then number 4, and again, I'm shouting out Barry Wolf here, is the unit level economics, right?
Huge.
What are they paying per square foot? Are they, did they jack up the per square foot price just to get a higher sale price? Are they paying $60, $70, $80, $90 a foot in a market that calls for 25, 30 at best? And what kind of competition is in the area? So these are all things to keep in mind. I would just say in general, be careful buying brand new construction net lease deals at 4 cap rates. The value of these things, especially when you have flat leases with no annual increases, is never higher than when you're buying it. So your resale value is not really going to be there. But that would be the 4 things to look out for right there. The 4 legs of the table, is Barry Wolf and Marcus Millichap likes to call it. And I think it's a great way to kind of analyze these things.
Hey, Dan, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you do a seminar for all the people out there looking to get into net lease deals? Because how many people you come across that don't care about any of the things you just mentioned? They don't care about the tenant, the location. They just figure, I'm local. This looks like a really cool deal. I'll buy it. They don't understand what goes behind it. And I mean, I don't really know what happens to them after the fact, but I'd imagine they lose their shirt on the deals.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much kind of hidden risk in those types of deals when they're paying a high per square foot rent, and maybe they're in a tertiary market. So you always got to be looking kind of what your exit's going to be, right? Because if
that'd be helpful,
unless you want to hold it forever,
always have an exit strategy.
Always have a strategy. So just be mindful, be careful, make your money on the buy, as we like to always say, and we'll drill it into your head. But yeah, just be careful what you're looking at.
Great point.
All right. Let's go to our 3rd question for Adam.
Let's do it.
Francis from Connecticut.
Francis.
I own
good old Italian name. This guy's got to be Italian.
Yeah.
I own a few strip centers, and some of my tenants have asked me about deferring their rent. How do you decide if it's warranted to agree to giving them rent breaks?
Okay.
Help Francis out here.
Yeah. So you own a few centers, also probably experienced our buddy Eduardo from earlier. I would imagine you probably have some sort of form of sales or some sort of representation to see how the tenants are doing financially. Right. One thing we always require, especially in retail deals, sales, for this exact reason. They come to us, they're crying with 2 loaves of bread under their arm. Help me, help me. Let's see if we can help you help yourself first. So I would definitely ask for sales. If they don't require it per their lease, ask them for it. Have them exposed with their financial statuses at the moment, and you can come to an actual realization to see if they need it or not. Throughout COVID, really, we haven't really dealt with this probably in the last handful of months. We kind of managed it up front. But people come back and say, hey, I need a month. I need 2 months. Can you help me give 50% rent? Work with them, right? Find out what their sales were, what their financial status was beforehand, what it is now, and ask them, where do you project it going? If I give you 50% rent, does that really help you? Or are you going to come back to me in 2 months and ask for the same thing over and over and over again, right? One of Dan's favorite saying is the squeaky wheel gets the grease. In this situation, it helps. But if it's a very, very short-term solution, it's not always the best solution, right? If you can get an extra 20 grand out of a tenant that you know is going to be leaving in 5-6 months, no, don't give them a deferral. So find out what their financial status is, find out what their sales are, what their margins are, what their costs are. Really dig deep, and you kind of do a little auditing, a little financial investigation with them. But work with them. Don't just be like an asshole. Doesn't get you anywhere.
No room for assholes here.
Yeah. And you know what? If that squeaky wheel is coming from the Maserati that they drive up to the property on, chances are they may not need the financial assistance. So right. Yeah, to your point, Adam, right? Get some financials behind why they need it, and make sure that they're exploring other avenues first, right? Other capital sources, other types of loans that could be taken out from banks, or different programs available for small businesses. You should, deferring rent breaks should be the last option after they've already explored, every other option available to them. Yeah.
I kind of skipped over that whole possibility of like government relief or like banks. I went right to, worst case scenario.
They always got to make sure, see where that squeaky wheel is coming from. If it's a Maserati, just ignore it.
Yeah. But if it's the Ferrari, help the guy out.
Well, we got Kim, number 4. Take us home.
All right. Taking us home with a long one. So Pay attention, Dan, because this one's for you.
I got to squint the eyes for this one. Let me squint the eyes.
All right. Chris from Phoenix asks, which tenant would you lease space to? I own an 18,000 square foot retail strip and have 2 LOIs on my vacant space that I was asking $18 per square foot on. The one LOI is from a local guy who agreed to pay $18, but this would be his first business. The other LOI came from someone who already runs 4 other restaurants in my area, but is only willing to pay $15. Should I take the higher rent or more experienced operator? Whew.
This is a good question.
That is a good question. And by the way, LOI stands for letter of intent. So obviously that's, basically an offer to lease the space for anyone who was wondering what LOI would stand for. So honestly, and, without knowing the entire picture, this is an easy answer from me. You take the $15 a foot and you go with the more experienced operator. At the end of the day, the money you're going to put into the space, I don't know if there's TI dollars involved, what the case is. But if you have an experienced operator who's already been through this, already knows how to run a business, has systems and processes in place, and I'm assuming if he's got 4 other restaurants, he's successful and the whole nine. He already knows what he's getting himself into. When you're dealing with a brand new operator, and not that you shouldn't lease space to people who've never run a business, but in this scenario, when you have 2 options, a lot of times new business owners, they don't know what they don't know. So they're not even too sure what to expect, from a projected sales volume, the number of employees they're going to need, what expenses might pop up, any of the unforeseen stuff that they've just never had the experience to really, realize. And at $3 a foot, I'm assuming the space is maybe 1,000, 1,200 square feet, whatever it is. That extra $3 on the year is not going to make or break, this property being a successful investment for you. But what could make or break that is if you move a new operator in, and then in a year you're looking to release the space again, and you have to put new TI dollars in, new leasing commissions, the whole nine. So I've mentioned this before. We had a question one time. Somebody asked, what we see is some owners' downfalls a lot of time, and it's greed. And this is the perfect scenario. It's great to get as much money as possible, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you have surety of income. And you're going to get a better chance of those rental payments coming in consistently from the experienced operator than you are with someone who's, just venturing into this for the first time. So take the $15 a foot, go with the experienced operator, set it and forget it, and move on to the next thing.
No, you're 100% right. And along your point, I mean, if the $3 a foot is going to make or break you on a property, I think it was 18,000, 20,000 square foot. Mm-hmm. Find other places either to cut costs or to increase revenue. I mean, you have an experienced guy coming in, much higher surety of rent being paid. So if that's your situation, then you might want to look somewhere else.
Yeah, great point, Adam. But hey, Kim, that's all we got this week, right?
That's all we got. Yeah.
That was 4. Guys, that was 4. Adam had 2. I had 2. Do want to remind you, if you are someone who is interested in investing in commercial real estate where you get direct ownership, dependable cash flow, and you get to remain 100% passive, you go golfing, you go to the beach, take your wife out, whatever the case is, give us a call. Visit our website, prp.us. We allow accredited investors to partner with us on our deals. So check us out, shoot us an email. But we're Progress Realty Partners. This was What Say You? I think we did a good job this week, guys. What do you think?
I think so. I think it went well. So. Please write in with more questions or just comment on our videos. Keep us entertained while we keep you entertained.
Exactly. Keep sending in those questions. But again, guys, my name is Dan Salonis.
I'm Adam Dickert.
And I'm Kim Bruno.
Thanks for watching this week. We'll be back next week with another 4, and we'll try not to get in trouble in the meantime. But thanks. Check us out.
Try.
See you next week on What Say You.
Adios.
Bye.